It is February 7th, 2019. Just waiting on Lauren to join us. So we're back on recording. So you want to start us off, Lauren?
Sure. So, yes, past week I ordered a rock crawler, a big rock crawler RC car, uh, and uh, and then I've been just getting deep into Python, how to work Python. So I didn't have a handy, but anyway, I also just now I kind of got swept up in it. So I had used to have VBox on my Windows laptop, my main one that I use for work and things. And then it wasn't working for a while, so I kind of installed the latest Ubuntu. And then I got Python because I was using basically I was first of all doing it in this courseware, and then I was doing it on this website where you can write Python, simple Python, or actually you can write some Python programs, but neither of them was interactive. You had to execute, but it's supposed to be interactive. And then there's a idle, which is a IDE. Anyways, I did some work, a few hours work on my. So I got VBox set up with Linux, which has the latest Ubuntu has Python 3, which is the current one or the latest one. For the first time, I think it's fairly new to Ubuntu to get, because it actually runs on Python 2. Anyway, so I did a bunch of stuff, and I'm into, and now all the stuff in the books that I'm reading about works. It's interpretive. That is, it's interactive to start with, or then you can open up idle, which is a text editor development environment. And I got that working, and then I downloaded a couple of modules because it's all about these modules like NumPy. There's a thing called Pygame, but for the Arduino and so forth, I think that's what it's about. There's these modules, or that give you the capabilities to say interact with the Arduino, and there's a Raspberry Pi and everything. So that's what I did. And blocks, still really working on health issues in my family. 2 members, but one of them's keen on doing Python anyway, which is nice. One of my kids is got. I sent him the course that I finished a while back. So anyway, and so oh yes, and I moved my water filters up from the crawl space, which was a block, removing a block, because I injured my back and couldn't do anything for a week after last time I tried to change the water filters, because in the crawl space I had to crouch and put a lot of pressure to unscrew the water filter. So now I have it nicely ergonomically mounted on the wall, like the same way the fuse box is, up at eye level. And that's it for my stand-up.
Okay. Michael Olchuk, Saskatoon, Canada. Last week I bought the same rock crawler that Lauren selected. It should be here Monday. And what else do we do? I got a tool from Amazon. It's a 12-volt probe. You hook it to the battery, and it lets you check whether something is near 12 volts or near 0 volts, and it lets you put 12 volts or ground on a point. So you can check bulbs and you can check resistances, and it's just a nice quick way of troubleshooting stuff on vehicles. It's supposed to work between 12 and 24 volts, so I'm going to see whether it works on the rock crawler, which is I think it was 18 volts maybe. Anyway, we'll see. I spent a little bit of time on the Wiki Factory site and sent a couple of emails back and forth. It sounds like I got a little bit of work to do, and then we're going to get a corporate account for WIKISPEED, and then that'll give us the ability to have users edit things and stuff like that on the site. The story or the README file, I guess, is the wiki. So it sounds like we can get everybody edit access to that, which will be helpful. Did a little bit of work on the Polaris cold weather testing. It actually operates down to minus 38 degrees. I found out this morning. The battery really doesn't like doing much at that temperature, but I'm going to see if I can keep a pack inside the garage and just take a small pack out and plug it in with an Anderson connector for cold weather. But the electronics work, which is the important part. The brakes sort of work. The brakes come on. They don't really come off that well. I think that's a hydraulic thing though, and it's pretty common in brakes not to come off when they're on. What else? Not too much. Next week, most of the stuff that I was going to do this week is carried over to next week, because I didn't get a whole lot of stuff that was on my list done this week. But on Monday, the truck's going to get here, and I hope to do a couple of videos on what it does now and how it does it now. I found a couple of Arduinos in my junk box. Still haven't found a Pi yet, so I'm looking at what signals I can get to from some of the generic YouTube videos. None of them are real specific about what they did. Most of them seem to take video of the thing driving around, which is not all that helpful for me. And no blocks to speak of, and I guess that's about it for me. Back to you, Lauren.
Yeah, so retro, I'm going to give myself an 8 because this is the best thing that can happen is to get kind of swept into something that's relevant and where it becomes like a fever or an obsession at this point anyway. So it hasn't happened in a while for me, so I'm happy. And team, gonna go to a 10 just because of what you're doing, and well, both of us, and yeah, okay, process improvement. I don't know exactly if this is like a process improvement, but I think some kind of identity check on what WIKISPEED is some kind of discussion of that. It's could be I mean, it has always been multiple projects, so I think that so maybe the question is, where do cars fit in at this point? So that's kind of my because yeah, and I've kind of I'm going to leave that for crosstalk and maybe offline. But anyway, that was my that's my process improvement or not.
Okay. My retrospective, I think I'm going to give myself a 10 because I continue to aim fairly low and I keep achieving at least the point counts that I'm looking for. So that's good. And I keep giving myself 1 out of 10 for showing up at the Rich on stand up. I'm I'm going to still stick with 8 with the team. We need some more people to join in, and I was hoping the hardware was gonna get more people to bite, just because it's easy to get a hold of. We'll see. When we start getting into the videos of pulling it apart and taking over with the Arduino, I think it will be more interesting for more people. And for the process improvement, I'd like to get more stuff out there, just for people to comment on and to edit. So I'm hoping the Wiki Factory is going to be that, but that's not really a process improvement, I don't think. Again, I come back to needing more than 2 of us to be on the meeting in order for us to have a process improvement. So I believe that wraps it up for the week. Crosstalk, before I forget, I wanted to ask if you had remembered anything about the receipt stuff.
No, sorry. Yeah, you know what? I think I might just do that now as we do crosstalk. And I was kind of interested in offline crosstalk today, just for a change.
Okay. Well, we can stop recording anytime you want to. Are we done with? Well, we're done with the formal meeting. You want to hit stop on record today?
Yep.
Okay. I'll just get over here. Hit the button, and we are done.